And now, today's adventure of Outerscope 1, the final voyage.
Oh, why can't we get back to our Earth? Where are we going now?
Hey, what's that? Oh, no. We're headed right for it.
It looks like it's not light. It's the opposite of light. It's blackness. It's a black hole in the sky.
I'm scared. Where are we? It's all blackness.
Wait, look at that shape. It's a keyhole.
Hey, I know what that is. That's Backland, of course.
How don't you do, familiar?
I don't get it. But I'm fine, I guess. How are you?
I'm getting worse, thank you. Soon I shall be really sick.
Worse? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Sorry. Do you want me to be well?
Sure I do.
Dr. Bell, this is an outrage. He wants me to be well.
But why not? I was only trying to be friendly.
Friendly? With us? But we haven't done anything right.
Friends, indeed. I'm going to tell everybody, and they'll come after you. They'll come after you.
Listen, boy, we sure were confused in Backland, weren't we?
Friendly with us, but we haven't done anything right.
It certainly wasn't very difficult not to misunderstand what was not unhappening, wasn't it?
Stop! Noise!
Freeze the dinner. I've got to slow down faster.
Boy, I'm sure glad we finally learned how their language worked. They were nice. Hold on, everyone. Here comes another light. Good heavens, it's Ruris again.
Is you ready, Cobblites?
We is ready, grubbers.
We call this here showdown to put an end to your sneaky ways.
Our sneaky ways? What about yours? You and your thieving pals has been ruining things around here for years. The tread troopers.
What? You calls us tread troopers, does you? Why, you little titter-toes.
Toes! How dare you call me that? You...
That old Haygut sure had those critters angry with each other, didn't he?
Yeah, and with us, too.
Haygut hurries to his hole, dragging the treasures that he stole.
Poor old monster. He was so mean just because he didn't think anyone could love such an ugly beast. He was pretty ugly, but in the end, I really thought he was nice. If it hadn't been for Haygut, Outerscope would have never flown again. You know, I've been thinking about what everybody said about this voyage. It has been fun. Think of all the things we've learned and the help we've been able to give. Yeah, like in Ruris. If it weren't for us, the Cobblites and Grubbers would still be fighting. And we've learned how easy it is to really understand creatures who are different.
Yeah, and how not to be afraid of them, just because they're different.
I used to be afraid of almost everything. How long have we been away?
From home, there's no way to tell.
There's no such thing as a day.
Not out here. Just space.
Home. I miss it. It'll be good to be back again. Under the trees.
Back in my old backyard.
Yeah. I'm ready to go home, too. And I don't think it will be long now.
No, I don't either. I just feel sure.
Oh, boy. I want to ride my new bike.
And we can play baseball, Willie.
Baseball! And drink a milkshake. I think I'd like to bake some bread.
and see my mom and dad.
Mom and Dad. Good heavens!
We've made it!
Home.
Oh, boy!
Fantastic!
Good old outerscope. That was some trip you took us on.
Did you know that long ago and once upon a time?
Long, long ago, many Indians believed that the white man had the gift from the Great Spirit to send his messages hundreds of miles on the talking leaf. That is, the gift of the written language. But one man, Sequoyah, did not believe this. He was sure that he could find a way for the Cherokee Nation to read and write their own language. At first, Sequoyah drew a picture for each Cherokee word, but there were thousands of Cherokee words. Sequoyah tried many different ways to find the secret of writing his language. Many years went by, and Sequoyah kept working and trying. Making up a written language was hard work, especially all by himself. What he was trying to do, no one had ever done before. Sequoyah also used some of the English alphabet because it looked the same as his, but were simpler. After 12 years of trying, Sequoyah succeeded. He ended up with 86 characters, and it worked. Sequoyah had given the Cherokee Nation a gift better than gold. Messages could be sent back and forth between the Cherokees in the nation. Now their stories could be written down. Now the Cherokee Nation could read and write their own language. It took Sequoyah 12 years to find a way for the Cherokees to write their own language. But he is the only man in the world to find the secret of a written language, all by himself.
What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be?
My daddy's name is Salvador Flores. My daddy goes to lots of meetings. He works on papers and types a lot. He's the man who says whether the schools are closed when it snows.
Years ago, photographers would come around and ask if you'd like to have a family picture taken, and it would cost maybe $1, $1.50. And here is probably the first one that was ever taken of the family. Okay, there I am in the high chair. Now, who would this be?
That'd be Uncle Moy.
This one?
Uncle Victor.
Victor and...
Uncle Jack.
Okay, now who would this young lady be?
Aunt Jenny.
Jenny
Right?
and...
Aunt Bertha.
Okay. Now, you see, years later, then, we went into town to take the family portrait. Okay, now who'd that be?
That's you.
Yeah, I don't know. How old would you guess?
About 8, 9.
About 8 looks about right.
Children, here is Dr. Flores, superintendent of schools.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
I wonder if I could walk around and maybe speak with some of you just a little bit.
My father tries to see everything that's wrong in the schools, and he tries to make them better.
Eddie, how are you?
Fine.
Let me ask you a question. When you came to grad school and you didn't speak English, what did you think?
That they thought that just because I was talking in Spanish, that I was talking about them.
I see. But has that changed?
Yes.
So you now have an awful lot of friends in this room?
Yes.
Very good. Now, Eddie, where are you from?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
One of the things my father's done as a teacher was to help other people learn to speak English or Spanish.
Let's see, where are you from?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. And let's see, where are you from?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. And where are you from?
Guatemala.
Guatemala. My mother and father came from Mexico, so I learned how to speak Spanish from them. And then I went through an elementary school, just like you boys and girls are at this table, and I learned to speak English.
My father goes to meetings, and he goes around and walks around the schools to make sure that they're okay and everything.
The programs are coming along. Are they all set?
We're all set. We've met with everybody. We're now ordering the last of the supplies that we're going to need, and we'll be in good shape.
Where do we stand on bringing some of the kids back into the city?
Well, we have about 6, 8 of them on our list.
Things look pretty good then?
Looks fine.
Thank you. Some of the other things that a superintendent worries about, do we have the best teachers? Do we have some of the most attractive and comfortable classrooms around? And this is really one of the main things about being a school superintendent.
My father told us a lot about, some of the stories when he was growing up, and how it was really hard for him because he had to get up really early in the morning, and he had to catch a bus, and he had to go to school that day, and he had to also work to help support the family.
When I was a kid, we harvested tomatoes, we harvested grapes, we harvested walnuts, and all sorts of other things. Usually we would start around 7 o'clock in the morning, work until about 11, take 30 or 40 minutes for lunch, and work until the sun went down. You would do this 6 days a week.
You get paid?
Yes, we got paid, but not too terribly much. The amount of money that we got would run something like 5 cents for each box of tomatoes that we harvested. One of the things I think about whenever I visit classrooms where there are children who are having some problems, I worry about them because I want for them the same things that I want for my children. I want them to be successful. I want them to be able to go ahead in life and select whatever they wish to do.
And now we join the Big Game Hunt, the show which asks the question, can a nice girl like Cricket Wicked find new games to play every day with the help of a small stuffed doll named Ringolevio? Well, Cricket, what are you up to today?
We were going to play hide and seek, but that introduction of yours is so boring that it put the person who draws this cartoon to sleep again. And now there's nothing to hide behind.
Meanwhile, unbeknownst to our friends, a sinister figure lurks stealthily in the background.
You know, Ringo, I have the strangest feeling that unbeknownst to us, a sinister figure is lurking in the background.
Well, as long as we cannot go hiding and seeking, I'll teach you a different game that's Puerto Rican. So, before you can so much as say do-a-diddy, my hat trick will drop us off in New York City.
Now to follow them and commit various and sundry insidious indecencies.
And now, as Long John Spoilsport zooms off in his nasty plane, lousing up the ecological balance with non-biodegradable nyahahas as he goes, let's look in on Cricket and Ringo in New York City.
We're glad you could visit us. This is a merry occasion. We welcome you both to El Barrio.
Our parents moved from Puerto Rico to here.
We all can speak English, but let's make it clear we also speak Spanish, so we think we should call our home here El Barrio, our neighborhood.
Now, let's play a game.
Good idea.
Right on.
The game is called El Gato y El Ratan. In English, that means cat and mouse. It's done by forming a circle of kids like this one. One player stays inside the circle to hide. He's the mouse. The cat starts the game standing outside. The kids in the circle hold hands and move round. The cat moves the other way until he's found a pair of hands he thinks that he can break through to capture the mouse. That's all he has to do.
Now to cheat my way to victory, like the cad that I am.
Uh-oh. Who let the cat out of the bag?
All I have to do is to hit the mouse with this trap and then reel him in. It's easier than taking candy from a baby. Of course, you run into some pretty tough babies from time to time.
He got that from a baby? No wonder he lurks. But tell me, Long John, are you sure this trap works?
Why don't you step inside and find out,
I've always known you were a rat, but now are you not pushing the resemblance a little too far?
Well, Long John, I hope you've learned your lesson.
I certainly have. Next time I'll keep my big trap shut.
Real people, I'd like to introduce you to some real people. Real people.
My name is Karen. My grandpa gave me a pet crab, and my friend Jan came over to see it. What does he eat? Something like little cornflakes. Do you put milk and sugar on? No, it's just little flakes that float around the water.
Hello, Tadaima.
Hi, Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, John.
Your grandfather's taking your shoes off. He always does that. What for? Does his feet hurt? I don't think so. Where did he come from? Japan. Maybe they don't have shoes in Japan.
How are you?
Hello. Jan said something funny today.
What did she say?
She saw Grandpa take off his shoes, and she said that must be what Japanese people do.
That's right. You should do it too. It's more polite.
She said they didn't wear shoes in Japan.
Where did she learn that? In Japan, everybody wears shoes, but they take them off when they go inside. It's a custom, like shaking hands when you greet someone. Grandpa does it because he learned to do it when he was little. There's nothing strange about that. We have Japanese customs in our family, like eating with chopsticks or eating a big breakfast on New Year's Day.
You mean we're different from other people?
Not really. Every family has its own customs that they've learned from their parents and grandparents.
I'm sure Jan's family does too.
Let's go play with the crab. Did you ever put him in the bathtub? I don't think so. I don't feel too good today. Do you have a stomachache? I think so. Well, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you get better. Bye. Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Karen.
Why do you take off your shoes?
Well, let me explain. When I was a little boy in Japan, we live in a house different from these houses. Instead of door and windows, we had shoji. It looked just like a sliding door, except that shoji is covered by thin white papers. We did not have carpet like here in America. Most of floor space is covered with tatami. Tatami is made from turi grass woven together. We sat on the cushion on the tatami floor like this and ate on a little table about this high. We used to sleep on mattress on tatami. During the day, we fold the mattress, put it away. Walking on the tatami with a shoe on, it would break. Inside the house is very clean because we never run around with a shoe on. So it's a habit for me to take my shoe off. Now you understand, Carrie?
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Karen.
Grandpa, is it true that you used to live in a paper house and sleep on grass?
Well, something like that. Do you want to see some pictures?
Yeah!
I'll be there in a minute.
Hi, it's Woody, and here's something nice that we can learn to make with rice. It's arroz con dulce, rice pudding to you. We're gonna do it the way Puerto Ricans do. Take 1 1/2 cup of cooked rice. And 3/4 cup of sugar, that's right. 1 dash of salt, 1 cup of milk. 3/4 cup of raisins, that's it. Now to the raisins, we must add 2 tablespoons of butter melted smooth as you can. Now beat up 2 eggs and mix everything in a big bowl. Then pour into a buttered baking pan, nice and slow. Bake at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. But please get a grown-up to help you with what you've got. There should always be a grown-up when the going gets hot. And while the arroz con dulce is baking, think about what a great treat you are making. When you taste the rice, say, "Ay, que bueno," which is a Spanish way to say, "Oh, it's so good, it's so nice." What a way Puerto Ricans have with rice. Doesn't it taste good? Doesn't it make you smile? Rice pudding, Puerto Rican style. Ay, que bueno, it's so good.
Hi,
Remember me? I'm Mistress No Name, in charge of a special game that says it's up to you what's fun to do. When you hear sounds of all kinds, the different pictures come to mind. Do you listen just with your ear, or can you see a picture that matches what you hear? Listen now. What do you see? Is it a bee? Is it a tree? Something special, something different. Each of us can see whatever we like, whatever says me.
Why didn't you duck, Pee-wee?
I did, Luther. But Hardcore knew I was going to.
People's hair look and feel different?
Everybody's hair is made of the same thing, but it looks and feels different depending on the color and the way it grows out of your skin. Let's pluck a few hairs and look at them up close. You know, in the whole world, there are only 3 kinds of hair. There's curly hair, and straight hair, and wavy hair, which is in between. Just looking at hairs, however, won't tell us why they grow the way they do. Every hair on your head or your body grows out of a tiny hole called a follicle. follicle is something like a tiny flower pot that the hair grows out of and the roots stay inside of. If you have round follicles in your skin, then you have straight hair. If your follicles are flat, you have curly hair. And if your follicles are in between, shaped like ovals, then you have wavy hair. Here's a way to show how this happens using 3 cake decorators, each filled with Play-Doh. One has a flat opening, and one has a round opening, and one has an in-between oval opening. You squeeze the cake decorators and see what happens. Curly, straight, and wavy. The shape of your follicles and the color of your hair comes from your parents and your grandparents. You can have red hair, like your mother, and curly hair, like your grandmother. Any combination of hair color and hair shape is possible.
So that's why curly hair comes in all colors. And so does straight hair. And so does in between wavy hair.
Right. But no matter what kind of hair you have, the most important thing is that you like it. And you take good care of it.
Straight hair, curly
You wash it.
wavy hair too.
And brush it. Comb it. Braid it. And don't forget to love it.
Whoa, did you know that long ago and once upon a time?
What a beautiful horse. What are they doing, Dad?
They're getting him ready for the race.
Is he a jockey?
Yeah?
Why is a jockey so small?
Well, they have to be small and light so the horse can go as fast as possible. Ooh, wow.
Look at him go. What's the name of the horse?
Miss Ola Topper, 2-year-old filly chestnut.
I wish I could be a jockey.
Did you know that in the early days of horse racing in America, most of the jockeys were black? And one of the most famous jockeys who ever raced was Isaac Murphy. He was born on a farm in the days before cars and airplanes were invented. And the only way that people could get around was by horse and buggy. As a stable boy, he always wanted to be a jockey. He won his first race when he was 14. In 1884, Isaac Murphy won his first Kentucky Derby. As a matter of fact, he won again in 1890. And again the next year. He seemed to have a natural feeling for horses, as if he were born to ride. 3 Kentucky Derbies all together. Isaac Murphy was the best jockey the world has ever known.
And now we join The Big Game Hunt, the show that asks the question, can a nice girl like Cricket Wicket find new games to play every day with the help of a small stuffed doll named Ringo Levio in a 3-minute cartoon with no commercial interruptions? Today we find our friends at the zoo.
Do you know how much that introduction bores me? Come on, Ringo. Let's go play hopscotch.
Oh, well, as long as we're here, let's take a look at the animals. Why, this is no animal. This is Long John Spoilsport, celebrated scoundrel, mendacious malefactor, misbegotten miscreant, and all-around rotten person.
That's me. I also let the air out of balloons when nobody's looking.
How did you ever get yourself put into a cage at the zoo? Are you klepto? What fiendish concoction of crookedness and rottenness will these two attempt? Well, as Long John and Klepto make their getaway, let's look in on Cricket and Ringo.
It's announcers like that who make me wonder why I ever went into the cartoon business in the first place. How would you like to have a strange voice following you around all day introducing you? It isn't easy being a star.
Let's learn to play hopscotch a different way. We'll see how the Chinese Americans play. They call their hopscotch Tao Fang Tse. The last square, which you're seeing now, is known as Public House. It's really quite a helpful square. You stand on both feet when you're there. You throw your stone in, then hop to it. Fetch it, hop out. Watch me do it. Then you do it once again, and keep on till you've got to 10. And if you do, without a miss, you mark your first square just like this. That's a private house. Now, see? And no one steps there now but me. The player with the most private houses will win. And now, if you're ready, get set and begin.
Hold everything. I demand to have a turn. Give me a turn, dear little Cricket, in the name of our friendship.
No way, Long John.
Then give me a turn in the name of fair play.
Not a chance.
Give me a turn, or I'll tell the announcer where he can find you.
Have a turn, Long John.
Another triumph for nastiness.
Hey, you pardon me, but somebody's seen a crooked cigar-smoking kangaroo passing this way.
Another triumph for good sportsmanship and niceness.
Curses. I may be a cad, but that's the last time I'll ever team up with a bounder.
It's time to tell a story. It's storytelling time.
This is the story of Senor Billy Goat, a Puerto Rican folk tale. Now, once upon a time, way up in the highlands of Puerto Rico, there lived a little old woman and a little old man. They lived in their little house thatched with straw, and they share a vegetable garden. And they used to spend hours talking about the nice dishes that they would eat out of those vegetables, and also about the money that they would get of the vegetables when they took them to market. Now, one day, when Ramon went to the window to look at the garden, he called Maria. Maria, come here, quick. A billy goat. Ay, Ramon, she said, it is a billy goat and has come to eat our garden. She began to cry. Don't cry, said Ramon. I am going down there and I'm going to make that billy goat go away. He went down. He patted the billy goat on his back. He said, Buenos dias, Senor Billy Goat. Please don't eat our garden. The billy goat turned around, ready to poke him with his horns. And the poor Ramon ran up the hill calling, Maria, Maria, open the door. The billy goat is after me. He stumbled on the chair, and suddenly, something stung Ramon's ear. Ramon shook his head, and down came, on the very palm of his hand, a little black ant. Por Dios, said Ramon. Look, Maria, la hormiguita. Yes, said la hormiguita. I have come to help you. You, said Maria? But you are so little. What can you do? I can't make that billy goat go away. If I do that, what will you give me? Anything you want? Said Ramon. Sí, said Maria. Anything you want. La hormiguita thought for a while. And then she said, I would like to have 1 little sack of sugar and 1 little sack of flour for my family. Will you give me that? Yes, said Maria. Then La hormiguita crawled down to the field. She began to climb up the legs of the billy goat and came right to one ear and stung him. Ouch, said the billy goat. And he raised one leg to scratch his ear. But then La hormiguita crawled to the other ear and stung him. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And thinking that he was all covered with ants, the billy goat leaped out of the vegetable patch and he began to roll. And he rolled and he rolled and he rolled until he was out of sight. That was the end of him. But La hormiguita went back to Maria and Ramon, and they gave her a little sack of sugar and a little sack of flour. And then Ramon and Maria continued living in their little hut, as happy, as contented as before. And so, colorín colorado, the story has ended. Y colorín colorado, este cuento se ha acabado.
Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today? Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today?
Model airplanes are my hobby. My name is Ethan Foster. I live in New York City. A guy can have a lot of fun in New York, especially if his friends like model planes too. It's always a treat to go to the hobby store with Mom or Dad. There are so many models to choose from that it's always hard to make a choice. The guys on the block like to share my latest models. First you read the instruction and then begin to put the parts together with special glue. After it dries, you are ready to put on the decorations and paint it. Now you can show it off. Sometimes I like to imagine traveling to a far-off country in one of my planes.
My name is Martin. Right now, my biggest wish is to get a pet snake. I've been trying to talk my mother into it.
Martin, what is the matter?
Nothing. Are you going to read the Dear Abby column?
Why should I read the Dear Abby column? Is it funny? Have you read it, John?
Well, yeah, I did notice it, and...
What's going on?
Dear Abby, I am a 14-year-old girl who wants a pet snake with all my heart. My mother says I can't have it. I even have the money for an aquarium and have studied up on how to care for it. Please be a pal and help me convince my mother to let me have a snake. Michelle.
Dear Abby, I am a 14-year-old girl who wants a pet snake with all my heart. My mother says I can't have it.
Dear Michelle, your mother, like many others, is prejudiced against snakes.
I see.
Because she knows very little about them. Herpetologists say that a non-poisonous snake makes a wonderful pet, and you can be sure nobody will steal it.
So you found your boa constrictor. He's so big.
Mom, he's only a baby.
Well, how big is he gonna be?
Isn't he beautiful? Isn't he gorgeous? I named him Nigel. You'll love him.
Martin, I'll tell you right now, I'll never get to like that thing.
But why, Mom? Why?
Because he's not like other pets. He's scary and he's different.
Boy, are you prejudiced. You don't even know him. He's not in the aquarium.
Nigel, Nigel, where'd you go? Look under the radiator. When I don't see you all day, you worry me so. Nigel, Nigel, where you been? Hiding in the closet where you gotta come out again.
All right, you guys, eat your words.
Your words. That's so naughty boy.
Hey, Martin, why don't you put a leash on him? Then you won't worry about him getting lost.
Do you let him sleep with you?
Of course not.
That's some crazy pet. Mine's gonna be even crazier, because I'm gonna get a pony.
Sure.
My
mother isn't gonna like this.
She won't have to. She'll never see him.
Yeah.
Cats don't know, dogs don't know, 'cause they never seem to leave you alone. But you can bark and you can meow, and I never see you no more.
Get the picture, Nigel? Different vibes for different tribes.
All right, I can hold it. Stop. Come on.
Better than you any day.
Hey, Martin, here's a new guy for the team. His name's Joe, and he lives on Mountain Avenue.
That's really good. I'll be right back with you. I want to say.
Okay. Take care. Hey, you didn't tell me he was black. You know, I don't like to hang around with them blacks. Don't be stupid. His mother's my teacher. And he's a real cool guy. He's got a snake for a pet. Maybe you'd like to see him sometime.
I don't care. I'm just not supposed to associate. Well, maybe I could just take a look at a snake.
You're not going to take a look at Nigel, because I'm not going to let you. I heard what you said. You don't have to do me any favor.
Well, it's just that my mother...
You can tell your mother you didn't associate with any black kids.
So there! Well, I guess you won't get to see the snake after all.
Excuse me. Hey, they have a gift shop. Excuse me, could you tell me where the snake man is?
You must be the zoo. It's right down here to the left.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me, you came to my school about a year ago with a zoo show, and you had a boa constrictor.
Yes, I usually bring one along. Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, come on. There he is. Are you interested in snakes?
Yes, very. I have a boa of my own. I thought I could learn a little more about snakes.
Sure you can. Take our boa, for instance. Now, this is a South American boa constrictor. All right, they'll grow to be about 8, 9 feet. Now, the best way to handle him is when you're first picking him up, grab him in the back of the head. Once he calms down, you can let him go. But always let your hands follow him. He likes to be secure and feels nice, you know what I mean? Feels very good to him. Now, they eat rats, mice. Best thing to do is keep them frozen in your freezer. I'm sorry you got here a little late. I have to close up now. Okay, so I'm sorry. Where do you live?
On Pleasant Avenue in Montclair.
Hey, I'm not far from there. That's on my way home. You want to lift?
Yeah, that'd be great. And maybe I could show you my boa, if you have time.
Yeah, I can spare 5 minutes or so.
Slow down, Rocky.
Come on, TJ, we're going. This is my buddy, TJ.
When Naja wakes up and goes downstairs, he always takes a banister and crawls up the stairs. He'll hide in your desk, yes, he'll do that too. When you pick up your papers, he'll be staring at you.
Mrs. Harris, we're not trying to gang up on you.
Just that we all feel the same way. A snake is a menace to the neighborhood.
Well, then you are sort of ganging up on me, aren't you?
Well, now we really want to hear your side, too. We know that nothing is ever all black and white.
I know what you mean. It's just that I think my son should be able to have the kind of pet he wants, as long as my husband and I agree.
Look, Mrs. Harris, we feel the same way, but can't Martin have a less dangerous pet?
I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
I know why you feel that way, because a snake looks so different. Martin's even accused me of being prejudiced. But all the best authorities agree that a snake is not a dangerous pet.
But isn't it true that some snakes find their food by hanging in a tree and then grabbing an animal and squeezing it to death?
Well, I don't know what happens in the jungle, but this one is always very well fed. Excuse me, it's my son.
Mom, this
Hi,
is Scott Richardson.
Hello, Mr. Richardson. You're just the man I need. Could you please explain to my neighbors that a snake is not a dangerous pet?
Sure, actually, I'd like to give all of you a little talk. Is there someplace we could sit comfortably?
Sure, let's go in the living room.
I just know I'm not going to be convinced.
Oh, come on and sit down, Mary. You might find it interesting.
I can listen, but I can't resist.
Oh, thank you.
How about coffee, everybody?
Hi, it's Woody, and here's something nice that we can learn to make with rice. It's arroz con dulce, rice pudding to you. We're gonna do it the way Puerto Ricans do. Take 1 1/2 cup of cooked rice. And 3/4 cup of sugar, that's right. 1 dash of salt, 1 cup of milk. 3/4 cup of raisins, that's it. Now to the raisins, we must add 2 tablespoons of butter melted smooth as you can. Now beat up 2 eggs and mix everything in a big bowl. Then pour into a buttered baking pan, nice and slow. Bake at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. But please get a grown-up to help you with what you've got. There should always be a grown-up when the going gets hot. And while the arroz con dulce is baking, think about what a great treat you are making. When you taste the rice, say, "Ay, que bueno," which is a Spanish way to say, "Oh, it's so good, it's so nice." What a way Puerto Ricans have with rice. Doesn't it taste good? Doesn't it make you smile? Rice pudding, Puerto Rican style. Ay, que bueno, it's so good.
What makes people get suntan?
Well, almost everybody likes to and can get a suntan, no matter how dark or light their normal skin color is. We all get different amounts of suntan, however, and some of us show our suntans more than others.
Where does the extra color come from?
Well, it comes from the same stuff that gives you your natural color. It's called melanin. Underneath the surface of your skin, a whole lot of tiny brown dots of melanin give you your color from the time you're born. Melanin protects your body from the sun. Something like sunglasses protect your eyes. If you don't have very many melanin dots in your skin, then you don't have very much protection. But if you have a lot of melanin, Then you have more protection. These first melanin dots soak up some of the sun's rays. But after you're out in the sunlight for a while, your body begins to make extra melanin to take care of the emergency. This extra melanin is your suntan and stays with you as long as you get a lot of sun. It usually goes away in the winter.
Isn't it silly that some people don't like black or brown people to swim with them, but want to get as brown as they can themselves?
It sure is.
I must show Lily my new hairstyle.
I must show Oreo my new hairstyle. Oreo, look!
Lily, look!